Hey gang, welcome to Bugbears and Brews. My name is Brian, and today we're going to be recapping the 29th session of our Tomb of Annihilation campaign. And while we're doing that, we're going to be drinking Passion Blaster from New Holland Brewing. It's kind of weird, I haven't held a can in ages, so just feeling that's a little weird. I actually had this, we went to Saugatuck slash Holland area a couple weeks back for vacation, and we went to New Holland Brewing, and this is one of the ones I got in my flight, because to me it sounded very sexual in nature, and I was trying to be a little 12-year-old kid, and so drinking a Passion Blaster was funny in my mind. Now, remember it being pretty good. It is labeled as a rosy white ale, I think, or rosy wheat ale. Let's see, I got it pulled up on the page here. Rosy wheat ale, 6% volume or 6% ABV, low IBUs. To me, though, I wouldn't even classify this as like a wheat. I mean, if you look at it, I get it. They're calling it a wheat because it's brewed with wheat and whatnot, but it's not like it doesn't fall into like the wheat flavors to me. It's a very fruity beer. I guess now that I have it, this is, like I said, the second time I had it. The first time was in a flight, and that was with a bunch of other beers, so maybe the wheat taste was lost. There's a bit of the weedy undertone there, but it's almost more, I don't want to say shandy, because it's not to that level, but it is a very, very fruity beer. It says passion fruit, which I obviously get. I get a little bit of the raspberry apple. I don't know. It's my first, going to be second drink now. I don't know. I guess I can maybe get the apple. I guess maybe I'm having issues with the distinguishing the apple versus the passion fruit type stuff there. The only thing that does kind of make me question a little bit is it says flavors versus like purees or that kind of stuff there. So I'm not sure if that means that they use a flavoring or fresh fruit or puree or what. But just like with any product, if you see flavors, you kind of just gets off in your mind that it's something not quite 100% natural. Either way, it's good. It's if you like fruity beers, definitely get into it. If you don't like fruity beers, probably stay away from it. Even if you like wheat beers and you don't like fruity, I'd still probably stay clear of this. This is me more fruity than wheat, but oh well. Gone on enough about the beer. I'm gonna be drinking it once more. We're gonna get one. So we had an online session this week, mainly because it's been a little bit since I had an online session. I'm paying for the full Fantasy Ground license. I might as well get my use from it. And so every time we do a online game, we get a lot of shit done. I think this is mainly because people are paying attention. I don't have to repeat myself as much. I quickly already have stuff loaded up kind of pre-game there. And I don't know, just something, I think where everybody kind of has their characters fleshed out, that kind of stuff there, it moves a lot quicker. So, some of the people that still kind of fumble around with their character sheets, they can easily pull up their thing, double click on the die, and it goes right in, and it works great. So, excuse me. We always get a lot done there. So we picked up, we were in Papa Zodal's tomb, you guys, Cy, and so Cy couldn't make it, Anthony, he couldn't make it, so we kind of had him autonomously running for a little bit there until Don could get it done. Had to be a little bit late because of traffic. So I'm drinking that a lot because it's really good. Anyway, Cy and Carr kind of smelt this brininess in the air, and they kind of pinpointed it to some cracks in the walls. Took a look. Nobody could find any sorts of pressure plates or anything like that. But you can obviously see through like the cracks that there's something beyond the wall. And so you guys gave up on trying to find a button. Instead, just took the chariot that was in the room and wound up using the yoke for it to just use it like a battering ram and broke down the wall, which was fantastic. You guys broke down that wall and come into this small hallway, maybe 20 feet long, 5 feet wide, something like that. Halfway down, there's this alcove with this old dusty bottle on it. And Leorn's talking about don't touch the bottle. And Obrechta walks right up, sees that there's a little person in the bottle, and immediately pulls the cork. And this thing starts flying out, forming out. Obviously a genie, some form of the jinn family there, good, bad, we don't know. And it starts laughing. It looks really happy, and it goes away. You know, don't let the genie out of the bottle unless you have some sort of agreement in place. There's kind of what we learned. That said, there was nothing in this area that kind of led to that smell of the brininess there. So you guys, as you got further down the hallway, you could smell more and more of that brininess. So you decided, you know what, let's go take a peek down there. And you could see the same cracks, but leading, yeah, at the far end of the wall, you could see more cracks in that room there. And you couldn't, once again, no plate that you guys found, no switch, no nothing like that, no hidden handle. And so you guys took the broken yoke and then used that as a battering ram through there, once again, paying off. Okay. That led you guys to this pretty decent sized room, about the same size as Papazotto's tomb. There is this big salt pentagram in the center, and you can smell a little bit of the wininess going on here. And there is a coffin in the center of the salt pentagram. So you guys kind of take a look around. Barlow sticks his head down this little crawlway type deal, finds out that it leads to a whole bunch of wine. You guys are guessing that has some sort of tie into the, when I say a whole bunch of wine, I mean, like, think of a flooded hallway, but instead of being flooded with water, being flooded with wine. So you guys think it has some sort of tie into the one wine trap room type deal there. You guys are kind of looking at the salt and the pentagrams, like, this isn't good. We're not going to mess with this. You guys are like, let's just kind of head away from this, not deal with this. That's great. There's a coffin there. Yeah, it looks like there's all the iconic imagery. How about we just say imagery? All the imagery. I'm gonna say all the imagery leading to pointing towards Nang Nang, the what's it called? The I want to say frog folk, the grung god. And so you guys, let's just screw it, let's leave it. And you guys start walking away, and Obrecta says, "Screw it, I'm heading in there." Starts walking. I don't recall if he dragged his 3 feet through the salt, or if he just went in. That I don't recall. But as he's going in, he's trudging. He gets to this chest, or not the chest, the coffin. He's getting ready to open it, and lo and behold, he gets smacked around by something invisible. And this thing appears, and it's like a giant frog monstrosity. He's kind of shouting like, "Hey guys, I got a little bit of company. I might have done something stupid." And so people start running back in, and Carr and Barlow were able to identify this as one member of the Slod family, presumably Gray. They're not quite sure, but they're leaning more towards Gray. And they were not happy to see this. They're like, "This is a really dangerous foe. We got to get him out of here. Everybody get salt quickly. We're gonna, let's take care of this." And I think this was the officially best use of a level 1 spell we've had this campaign so far. As everybody's rushing the room, trying to support Obrecta without going and getting too close to the Slod. Leorin charges in, looks at this thing, immediately says, "Flee," using command, and it worked. The thing completely failed its save, like absolutely miserable. And the stats on this thing had a what's it called? Excuse me, a plane shift, and so it immediately just popped its plane shift and was gone, and got you guys out of what could have been a really hairy combat. After that, you guys are okay. It's gone. Waited around for a minute, made sure that it wasn't coming back. Everybody was kind of like sitting around ready, waiting for it. And so after you guys realized it wasn't coming back, you guys opened up the tomb there, and there was a potion and a petrified egg and an urn, I think. So let's see here. Oh, Ildrex, there we go. Ildrex grabbed the egg and I think the potion and the urn. He's been grabbing everything, and you guys have just kind of letting him. So he grabbed all that kind of stuff there, and you guys went about your day. I think Carr grabbed a bunch of the salt, to repurpose it Not like the whole pentagram, because the pentagram was really big. I think like in the room it was 20 feet-ish or so. So pretty big. But, you guys grabbed, plenty of salt. So if we ever run into a situation where you gotta, do some quick salt work, you guys got it. From there, you guys went down to the mouth, the big demon mouth in the ground that Ildrix has been wanting to jump down for some time. You guys got a rope and pulley system set up, or a rope and not pulley, but a rope system. So Ildrix can go down there. He goes down, and after going through the darkness, he appears in this really bright room. There's 4 sphinxes in each corner. There's this highly detailed hieroglyphic floor, and there is a what's it called? Like a funeral barge in the center of it with a coffin on the barge. So he goes down there, just kind of scopes things around. Off in the distance, he can see some peepholes, and he tells everybody it's safe. Everybody comes down, kind of gets a look around, trying to figure out what's going on. You guys are trying to lift up the lid. Nothing's happening. So Carr decides he's going to go back up, because each time you guys have gone down a level, which you guys are presuming this was one level, that you guys came across a set of clues, kind of giving you some details about the room there. Sadly, while you guys did find the clues there, none of them were particularly useful for this situation. But as he's looking in the room, through this other side of this, there was a kind of a statue type deal that you guys could see through. He's trying to look through. He's not seeing you guys, but off in the distance on the other side of the room, he sees this dwarf in this yellow tabard entering the room, and he takes a couple steps, and he hears a click, and all of a sudden he gets eaten up by scarabs. Back to you guys in that room. When you guys enter the room, there was a dwarf skeleton on the ground there, in a yellow tabard. So presumably, what we talked about meta-wise was that Carr actually saw the past when we talked about it later in the game there. So we kind of give him an idea of what to look out for. So he's shouting to you guys. You guys can kind of hear him. He gives up and says, screw it, he'll join you guys back down. You guys are looking around, and this is another one of those wizards didn't give very good instructions on how to solve this riddle. And so, like, I put a skeleton kind of doing a George Washington pose, like doing like this, looking through, like, in the distance through the peephole. You guys didn't pick up on that, so eventually I just did random perception, rolls from everybody. And I forgot who won it, but somebody was able to distinguish that through the peephole they could actually see kind of like a what's it called? A Stargate type mechanism with one of the hieroglyphic floor tiles in the center of the Stargate block mechanism. So somebody went ahead and stepped on that. The clue was, I think, the vulture's the first step or something like that. And the icon in the center was the vulture. So I clicked on that. You heard all sorts of shifting. Then eventually another piece set in there, and you guys went about the business. And everything went really, really well and smooth until you got to the last step, when it kept on like freezing and wouldn't show you the next one. There should have been a very simple solve, as there was only, I think, 8 things, and you did 7 of the 8, but you guys couldn't remember if you did 2 of them. So you guys, flipped a coin essentially mentally and decided, and you chose the right one. And with that, the lid popped up, and inside there was a bunny corn. Once again, Ildrix wanted to get his hands on everything, mainly because he feels like he's the best one to grab these things for meta reasons. He grabs this, and he feels really good. He likes the bunny corn horn. He's happy with it. Doesn't care much. It's cool. It's a bunny corn horn, but let's go. I'm really happy for this. And everybody's like, hey, everybody. Each time we've dealt with one of these, they kind of been some sort of powerful relic or powerful magical item. So it might be worth checking out there. And as you guys are trying to convince him to, let you guys examine that for the 10-minute ritual, he's like, no, screw this, I'm going up the ladder, or going back up the rope, and headed on the way. And thinking about that, Barlow's like, you know what, we still have this, I think it was the Parapet of Health or something like that. It's the one that sets your constitution as 19, and gives you a couple other advantages. He went ahead and he grabbed that from one of the bags. I forgot whoever was holding it. And Barlow started to feel a little bit funky after that as well. So, you guys kind of taking a look, getting back up to level 2, went down the stairs once more, down to level 3 proper, because there was no other way out of this room. You guys didn't want a chance stepping on a trap there because you knew shit got real if you stepped on a trap. So you kind of like, all right, let's just head back down. As you're heading down, kind of taking a look at around the area, in the hallway you see there are 2 look like those kind of golem-looking dwarves that you fought before, except for they're all sorts of spiky kind of. Think of like the irony golem type deal crossed with Battle Rager armor, and they had a spike chain tied between them. They look at you guys and they both go into this alcove, and you guys are like, all right, we're not letting some guy come up behind us. Let's go fuck him up. And so you head off, and thinking you dealt with guys very similar to this before, this should be a walk in the park. I think Obrectus stuck his head around the corner to take a swing. He got a swing, but the guy swung back, and these things hurt. And so so this fight could have been potentially far deadlier than it was, but there's a mechanic for this fight in particular, speaking meta. If you broke the chain, they kind of went ballistic and just attacked the closest target versus using any sort of logical type feelings there. So if there's multiple people closest, I just whoever attacked it last. And even then, like if you would have got them next to each other and let them back away, and they were mad, in this state, they would have just absolutely pummeled each other. But I don't think we have to worry about these guys again in the. Yeah, because this is a very specific encounter, so I think that that feature was specific to them breaking that spiked chain there. So given that you guys were able to quickly break the chain with a good use of Shatter, made this a much easier fight, which is good. So you guys got past 2 rather potentially dangerous fights thanks to, I'm going to call it dumb luck. I mean, to have a pretty strong magically resistant creature fail a level 1 spell with like the absolutely best command word you could use for that creature, along with accidentally stumbling across the failsafe for this type situation here, led to some pretty not easy fights, but much more toned down. That is deadly fights. So a lot of fun for this. I always enjoy running the online games. I know some people don't like them. And I would never give up in-person games, but when we do the online games, it's amazing to see the difference in play and like how much quicker we get done. So I'm going to try to do them once a month, even regardless of the weather, that kind of stuff there. So maybe shoot for like the middle of each month or something like that. I'll play around with when it is. We don't have. We're on the 2nd or the 3rd floor now out of, we probably got another little couple weeks here in the tomb. We might wrap up a little bit quicker than I thought if we keep up a good pace of play. Not saying I want to rush or anything like that. But my guess of midsummer might be, I guess summer officially starts in what, July or June? Late June. Was it June 21st or something like that? Right? Yeah. No? June 21st? All right, whatever. I guess this gets when you want to get technical. You're going by like the actual start of summer or like when kids get out of school. So anyway, my guess is I'm probably going to guess late July when we wrap up here. So I'm going to go drink the rest of this beer. Who knows, I might get crazy and have a second one even though it's Monday night. So, sorry this went a little bit long. Oh, before I forget, if you actually hung out to the end, I know I already sent an email about this, but please don't forget, have a level 9 waiting in the wings, because the next time we take a long rest, you guys will be level 9. I'm not even going to lie, you guys done plenty enough that if you took a rest, if you forced a rest somehow, found a nice spot to take a rest, I'd give you guys your level 9 there. So, talk to you later, guys. Bye.